Welcome to Adobe Live. I'm your host, Arabella Espinoza. I'm joined here by digital artist Juan Egusquiza. Yeah, we're so excited. Please tell us where you are watching from. We are going to be talking about digital editing, imaging with Photoshop. Juan Jose is going to be showing us a couple of his work, compositing in Photoshop, and we're really excited. So please say hi in the chat. We want to talk to you and connect with you guys. So we're really excited. If you have any questions for him as he shows a little bit of his work, please, hi, how's it going?
Hello, everyone.
Hi, from Chicago, from Portugal.
Oh,
that's
cool.
Awesome. Hello, Lima.
Hello.
Thank you guys for joining us. If this is your first time, let us know. We're really excited. So just wanted to do a little bit of housekeeping. We have a chat and win, which is going to be a giveaway that's happening in about half an hour. If you are active in the chat and talking to us, you're going to have the chance to win 100 free stickers, 3x3 stickers from Sticker Mule. And if you don't win, that's okay. We're all winners. You can go to stickermule.com/AdobeLive19 and you'll still get a deal for 10 stickers for $1. So yeah, so we have a full day today. If we can take a look at the schedule, that'd be awesome. So we just had the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge with Jesus. So you can watch the replay of that so that you make sure that you submit. We'll be reviewing those in about an hour and a half. And then we've got Juan Jose right now until about 11:30. And then the Adobe XD Creative Challenge with Sam. And then afterwards, the Adobe Live with Design Systems with Amy Baxter. So we're really excited. Yeah, New York City. Hi, Tim. Hi, Wayne. Thank you guys for joining. So yeah, if you want to tell us a little bit about you and what you do, that'd be awesome.
Okay, thanks for the intro.
Yeah, of course.
Hello, everyone. I'm Juan Jose. I'm a digital artist, and I use different tools to create images. I've been doing this in the past 3 or 4 years, and especially what I'm going to be talking today is it's something that I've been doing the past 3 years for almost daily now, which is I started doing a lot of compositing.
Yeah, so we can take
maybe
go
Instagram
over.
is the first.
Yeah, let's go over to his Instagram. So make sure to follow him, Juan_Jose_XYZ. He's got a lot of really fun images here. So if you want to talk a little bit about what you've been doing. So Juan Jose is actually a Adobe Creative resident. So he's been working on a really cool series called Impossible Landscapes. But he also does a multitude of other things as well. He really likes to mix a lot of digital art with his photography too. So, but yeah, if you want to show us anything, that'd be...
Yeah, so I try to travel as much as I can. So if you, for example, I try to just... around and literally what I do is I started just walking around and noticing these little things in daily life that but once you capture them it takes it's a complete new thing
Yeah, of course.
So I started taking a lot of these pictures and I'm originally from Peru where so I grew up in Lima, that's the capital. It's a desert next to the ocean.
Yeah.
Then I moved to New York, which is just, a big city.
Complete opposite
So
city.
I started imagining or thinking, oh, this street looks fun, but I wonder how it would look like with desert or water. And that's how I sort of started
playing around.
And it's a lot of... just me taking pictures and then I just sit down, start looking at all of them.
Reimagining them, kind of
and I just
taking a look at how to...
I started, And then I also try to do more compositing, like for example this one here.
Yeah, I know, this was cool. We had this in the background.
Yeah, so I tried, to use
awesome.
models and I tried to just take pictures from the from the cities and just thinking of what stories can I tell with the pictures, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. And when did you start doing this kind of work? Like how?
So
how did you get into it?
Like about 3 years ago, I started this challenge called 100 Days of Making.
Oh, cool.
Where and I didn't know how to use Photoshop at all. Hello to Gustavo.
Oh, is this your friend?
No.
Oh.
He's hi. He speaks Spanish.
Oh, he speaks Spanish. Hola.
And I did this challenge for every day for 100 days. I was just using Photoshop, and I started, I didn't know how to use Photoshop back then. I was just using it for like basic stuff like contrast or brightness, and then suddenly I was just mixing body parts and creating this weird.
Cool.
And then at some point I just
kind of gradually started.
Yeah, doing landscapes, sort of with the idea of what I just told you a little bit before. Like, I've been traveling and I've been living in different places, and just that sort of came together.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Well, make sure you guys follow him because he posts all of his work here, and that's going to be Juan_Jose_XYZ. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of compositing, right?
Yes.
If you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do two things. I mean, the first one is just to show sort of how I can just work with one simple image to create a whole new thing.
Cool.
And I'm gonna open one right now. This one here.
Awesome.
And basically what I do is I take the picture and then I go home and I start looking at it and I'm like, okay, what can I start doing with it? I just sort of like start messing around with it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So here what I'm gonna do is basically I took this picture. This is in Coney Island here in New York.
Okay, cool.
And I noticed these characters were really happy, but when I went, it was raining, so I didn't have a really. So I look at these characters and they're just laughing too much.
Yeah.
So what I would like to do first is just create a new layer. Then I would just create a inverted.
So you kind of start right in Photoshop then sometimes.
Yeah, I mean I do the first editing on Lightroom.
Okay.
With,
cool.
That's where I do the basic editing. I correct.
All the lighting and the
exactly.
colors and all that kind of stuff. It kind of seems to be a pattern. A lot of people start in Lightroom as well.
It's and then I go to Photoshop to do all this manipulation, right? So I start doing like simple things, like for example, I hide this. So I duplicate it. I hide the first layer, and then if you sort of drop the density to like about 40%, you can sort of see what's happening here.
Hi, Zahir. How's it going?
Hello. No worries.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
You're not late. You're just in time.
We're
here with Juan Jose, and he's just going to be showing you a little bit of his work. He is a digital artist. He is originally based in, or is from Lima, Peru, but he is based in New York now, and so he's just going to be showing us a little bit of his compositing work, and we're really excited. So if you are just joining us, hello.
Hello, and then I just start, for example, doing simple things like, okay, I'll just start making these characters look a little bit sad, right? This is the first one. I'll do the same with the second one.
Oh, did you just like invert that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then I will do the same with the other one. Just hide
wow.
And then we'll just put it here.
That's smart.
And then you see I sort of like transform these characters into sad
That's
people,
awesome.
right?
That's such a great idea. I would never even think of that.
And then, when you have this sort of like if you see here, there's like still the line of the smile.
Yeah, the smile.
I just, duplicate the first layer, put it on top. Also I hide it a little bit, then I move it a little bit here. And then I just, what I really love about playing with layers, it's sort of like painting, kind of.
Yeah, totally.
So I just start painting on top. And then
it looks like you're not a destructive editor, so that's a good thing.
And then I had this smiley, sad characters.
Yeah, of course.
And then, for example, just to think about something, why they're sad, and because I don't know, it's been really hot in New York, so just, for example, grab a filter, liquify. This basically allows you to manipulate the whole thing. So I would just try to, for example, try to make it melt. So he's just sad
because it's just so hot.
It's so hot.
The burger's just melting.
It's melting.
That's very cool.
It's melting. And for example, if you would just wanna, you can also freeze the mask here, and you can paint on top of what you don't want to modify. And then you can just kept.
Awesome. Cyril says, wow, how simple is that? You're a clever man.
Thank you. And then, you can always, edit, go backwards. And it's just about, you have to be, and then you have these sort of characters like they are sad.
You're telling a story and
you're telling a story,
building
right?
it around it, yeah.
And usually, and it's all about tastes, I feel like. There's no one rule or no one thing to...
Yeah, we've kind of realized that, like, as we're working too, like, everyone has their own way of working and editing, and it's just about what works for you. So that's awesome.
Exactly.
Cool.
And wait.
And are you all self-taught? Are you?
Yeah.
You just kind of all learned by yourself.
Yeah.
Messing around?
I spend and that's the best advice that I could tell everyone. Just start messing around.
Yeah.
And I will start doing more stuff. Like, for example, I will just grab the first image, duplicate it, and then just do the same.
So Tim has a question. Do you worry about the natural grain of the photo? It will probably change due to all the pixel pushing, or is that not an issue?
Sometimes I worry, but in this case, I added a lot of grain intentionally.
So it's already,
Yeah. It's sometimes it depends. Yeah. So it's really important to take a good picture before.
Yeah.
What is that? Oh yeah, sorry, that was
That's okay.
And then we just keep messing around. For example, I start playing around with the letters, for example, here, right? And then for example here.
That's cool.
The A, now it's a P, and then I could just, for example, I want to write something else, and then I could just start.
Got it. Okay.
Messing around with that. So that's sort of like a simple exercise of how I try to approach an image.
Cool. How do you get your inspiration? Do you just kind of shoot everything and then kind of, see it later? Or do you come at it like when you're photographing out there thinking of something already? Or is it, what's your process like as far as?
So when I started doing a lot of these compositions, I started walking around a lot through the cities. So now, and I develop, I wouldn't say a technique, but it's more of something that I do, which is every time I go out, every time I go out, I try to take pictures, general wide shots, and then also like small details
and things. Yeah.
So I have a lot of stuff to play.
You just kind of have a library of all the things. Cool. And you shoot everything that you use.
Yeah. Right now I just. If I have a camera with me, I just shoot everything
awesome.
that I can see. Yeah. And that's why I tend to use a 64 gigabyte card really fast.
Because you need something.
Yeah.
Capture a lot and also fast.
Fast, yeah, sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so and there's like tons of things you can do with here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump to another exercise. So I created maybe we can put it on your
absolutely. And this is on your Instagram?
Yeah.
Cool.
I created so I had a funny story before, which is wait, let's start with this one here. This one here. I had an accident when I was a kid jumping. I was doing backflips in a pool, gosh. And then I hit my face with the wall of the and
oh no!
Since then I don't really jump or do backwards or backflips.
Yeah.
But I really wish I could. Yeah. So I started this series which is called The Divers, in which I create this I mix, I take pictures of some place in the city and I create this character just jumping around.
That's crazy. That's insane that came from like a traumatic experience in a way.
and the first image that I created, it's the name is I always wanted to be a diver.
Oh, oh my God, that's amazing.
So what I'm gonna do now is
fun contrast.
I'm gonna create a landscape, and then I'm gonna include one of the divers.
Cool.
And this is where I want to ask everyone here,
Awesome. We have a question.
Yeah, so I have 2 images.
We have 2 images, and we're going to see which one you guys want to select for him to.
So I got this from I try to use most of my pictures, but now I also have access to the Adobe stock.
Yes.
And that's really, really cool because I can play or add with things that I didn't have before, right? So instead of going and shooting some divers, I have the...
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. Do you shoot your divers, or is that something that you grab from like stock?
In this case, the divers I'm going to use from Adobe stock.
Cool.
But
awesome.
Now for the landscapes, I'm using different software to create like a 3D model of them.
Very cool. Use. That's awesome.
So what I want you to ask everyone is, so I have these 2 images. This is the first one.
Awesome.
Let's call this one A.
Okay.
And let's call this one B.
And this one B. Cool.
And
so we want to hear in the chat which image would you like to have Juan Jose use. Go back to A.
Okay.
So this is image A, and then we have image B. So if you guys have a preference, let us know in the chat, and then we'll get started from there. But
and now I'm gonna start like just editing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just came back from a trip, and then I did the same. I was walking a lot, taking a lot of pictures, and this is one of the examples of
everyone's going with A.
Okay.
Whoa, we've got 5 A's.
Okay. Awesome.
6, 7.
Oh, really, really fast.
I know, everyone's so fast.
Oh, there's 1B.
1B. Okay. We're
B.
getting a lot of A's, though. Awesome.
Okay.
You actually were just in Europe, right?
Yeah.
So this is one of the shots from
this is one of this
awesome.
is in Paris.
Beautiful.
And then in this case, I'm also gonna use one of the stock images.
Oh, cool.
Which is
Hi, Vix. How's it going?
It's just a plain ocean here.
Awesome.
And this is example of the images that I take, this is a really wide shot of all empty street. And I do this a lot because gives me the ability or I can just start messing around and see what's going on.
You have much more to work with too.
Yeah, exactly.
Versus like shooting in super close up.
So I mean, for example, here I took this wide, but then I will just take a close up on like the windows here.
Ah, okay.
So I will have a lot of images here.
Yeah.
So first, what I'm gonna do is start playing around with the ocean.
Awesome.
And this is all a lot like personal test, or you can just like we said before, there is no just one way of doing things.
Yeah, you can do so many things in Photoshop in very different ways.
I really I spend a lot of time using the brush tool in Photoshop. I think it's really, really cool. I also sometimes I just spend a lot of time using this. So just you just start painting.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome.
And the cool thing is you can. There's like different brushes you can use. There's like even actions on Photoshop.
Yes. Oh my God, actions are my favorite.
Yeah. For example, this one here. So a while ago, I like to
take a look at your Instagram real quick.
I like to take pictures of people or streets, for example. And a while ago, I was taking pictures of like people in the street, and then I have this moment where I was thinking, okay, is it just okay for me to take a picture of someone and post it on my Instagram, for example?
Right, that whole
thinking about like privacy,
privacy,
So I discovered this action, which is just like a blow up sort of thing, and
wow.
I just started creating these characters that I like for here.
Yeah. Oh, that's so smart. That's like a really great way.
And I started using characters like my parents.
Oh my goodness.
And even I started using them with dogs here.
Wow.
But it's there's like different tools and different actions.
There's so many things out there. It's awesome, and it's all online, all available. You can find everything.
Most of them are free. Peru. Alberto Silva.
Oh, awesome. Hi, guys.
How's it
going? If you're just joining us, we have Juan Jose here. He's just showing a little bit of digital imaging in Photoshop. He is taking, he's compositing this like water ocean into one of the shots that he took over in Europe this past 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think we're going to go with A. I think that seems to be the most popular one.
The A. Yeah, sure. Let's go for it.
Awesome.
So then, I start painting this.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna, it usually takes like a while because you have to be really, 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 like you have to spend time doing this to make it work really, really, really good.
Thank you, Tim, for including his link. If you want to follow Juan Jose, Instagram.com/JuanJose_XYZ.
Yes.
Give him a follow.
Let's keep doing this. And yeah, that's the cool thing about...
Mercedes says, hola desde Argentina.
Oh, nice. Hey.
Hi from Egypt. Hi, Yosra. Hi, guys. We've got a lot of people in the house.
Yeah, a lot of countries. That's super cool.
I love it. I know. It's one of the greatest things about Adobe Live is you get to see or hear from people all over the world. Cool.
Let's just keep doing this. Yeah, the cool thing about travel is that you start seeing and discovering like many different places and landscapes and just the way the streets looks like. So that's give you a lot of inspiration.
Yeah.
Where was it the last time you traveled?
I actually just came back from Colorado.
Oh,
I went to Vail, Colorado, and it is beautiful. It's amazing to be so close to the mountains and to still see snow even though it was hot.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Majid. Hello from India.
Hello,
hi from Poland. Hi, Sebastian. Hi, guys.
Here, here's here's the part where usually when I do this, I just put some music on, headphones, and to just do this sort of automatically.
Absolutely. How long does it usually take you to do an image or like what,
So it depends a lot. Sometimes I just spend like 10 minutes and I create one. Sometimes I spend hours. But a good advice is not necessarily the more time you spend, the better. Well, I don't know.
Hi from Pakistan. Hey from Portland, Oregon. Hi, Taylor. Hi, Michelle from the Netherlands. awesome.
Cool. Yeah, all these countries.
I know. Welcome, you guys.
I'll just keep doing this here, and then I'm gonna show something like with different brushes.
Perfect.
That's why I'm not gonna be like really
nitpicky.
That's
awesome.
Erase this one here.
It's one of my favorite things about using the mask too is that even if you're not like completely perfect, you can go back in and like clean that up.
Yeah. And even sometimes when I'm doing the masking and then suddenly I hate it, just you can just delete it.
You can just delete it and start over. Sarah Little says, "Whoa, I love this blue water." Saludos desde Chile.
Oh, cool.
Hi, Lucio. So many people. I love it. If you guys have any questions for Juan Jose, please ask. He is happy to answer them, and we've got about 6 minutes until we've got our chat and win. So keep being active in the chat and talking to us. We love hearing from you guys. So
okay.
Awesome.
Let's keep doing this.
So you're definitely removing that second railing.
Yeah. It's more for like timing.
Yeah.
But it also depends. Sometimes 2 words. I mean, it just you have to try and see what works better.
Yeah.
Maybe it works better with 2. I don't know. I'm just.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Let's try with 1, and if I see.
And if it looks weird, then you can always go back. So Gina says it would be quicker to use the quick selection tool to select the gates and go to the water layer and just hit delete. That is very true, you guys. You can. There's so many ways.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to do this.
I just love to use it.
Definitely.
It's like therapy for me.
Yeah, Tim says there's so many different ways to create a selection. Magic wand, quick select, color range. Oh my God, those are so many more than I know.
That's true.
That's awesome. Hello from Malaysia. Hi, Zubair. Hi, Anna. Oh, hi, Anna. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah, it is nice to see everyone from all over. Thanks, David.
Cool.
Sweet.
And then here as well.
Yeah. It's so interesting. Like, you're usually like if I'm compositing or anything, I'm usually like super zoomed in because.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then here I have different like brushes that I use. So this also gives you the...
Oh, so you're adding like kind of...
Yeah, so for example, let's just try to use this one, right? And usually what I do is I drop the opacity by like 60% sort of. Oops, wait, here, okay. So here you can see a little bit of what just happened here. So you can just start using it as... Right, let me just erase all of this.
Anna says, what a cool composite.
Thank you. Okay, let's just erase this. Then we'll just go here. If you press R, you can sort of like start turning the... And then if you go back to here, oops. Then you just keep turning. And then here, you just grab...
Oh, okay, I see what you're doing.
And you just start, like, you can take this down, and then you start like painting a little bit. So this
it's a very interesting way of like putting...
Yeah.
Cool.
So here, you start like having the effect of...
So Sarah Little has a question. She says, does Juan have any suggestions for finding a good photo subjects while traveling? Yeah, for finding good photo subjects while traveling. Any suggestions?
Can she specify?
Yeah, Sarah, can you specify what you mean?
Thanks. Hey, Leon. This is my friend, actually.
Oh, really? Hi, Leon. Awesome.
Here, for example, you see, you just,
So we've got about 3 minutes until Chat and Win. Make sure you are active in the chat because you'll get a chance to win some stickers from Sticker Mule. So,
then here, just start doing
start adding it a little bit.
And then you can play with different brushes. Okay, let's try this one here.
Where do you go to find your brushes usually?
I just Google them.
Google them.
I think that's a really straightforward way of... And then, that's why I really like to do this like manually.
Yeah.
X here.
Very cool.
Then, that's sort of like the idea of this. And then what I would do is I would just playing around with colors, for example, here. And they'll just try to just modify the first one. Just like if you just grab option here, click here, you can just apply this layer or this effect only for that image.
Okay.
Right?
Cool.
And here just change a little bit the color of this.
Oh, sweet.
Sort of like to have everything sort of in the same temperature. You see how the water just went from like blue to this kind of... Yes,
Awesome.
Tim says you can also download
the Kyle Webster brushes. Yep. If you're a CC subscriber, you have access to the entire collection for free.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
And then I would just...
Ooh, so Taylor says, is there an easy way to return the artboard back to its original position? I hate when I accidentally rotate it. That's happened to me before, and I think I usually press
like
exit.
Here.
Or escape, sorry.
Yeah,
right?
escape. You go back.
Yeah, so click escape. Awesome.
Second, Taylor.
Oh, you can also hold down the shift key plus R key while rotating.
Okay, let's try that. Okay.
Yeah, let's try that.
So hold down the shift.
Oh, I guess,
yeah.
Because it'll just take it. It's like going in degrees.
Cool, yeah, so many like
I know.
people know about
Learning
this stuff.
all the stuff.
Now just also use a little bit of brightest difference. I don't know how do you spell that.
Sarah Little says, sure, I'm interested in your photography process. Do you aim to shoot the ordinary to make them interesting during the editing process or scout locations?
I think the best, for example, let me show you one that I did similar to this.
Okay.
That's also a nice one. It's, let me just... So a lot of them, it's kind of like, I wouldn't say luck, but I would just in a place, random place, and I just happen to be able to take the picture. So I think it's a mix of both, but I think you'll be really surprised on how many just random stuff you would find. Not because you were actually just, searching for them. You just, appear, and if you have your camera with you.
Yeah, for sure. All right, you guys, it is Chat and Win time. please be active in the chat. Say hi. We want to know where you're watching from. You're going to have a chance to win 100 free stickers from Sticker Mule. So I want to say hi. I want to connect with you. Hopefully you get a chance to win some stickers. Welcome back. Hi, everyone. So cool to see so many people. You're going to have a chance to win 100 stickers from Sticker Mule. So be active in the chat. Say hi, where you're watching from. It's awesome. We have Juan Jose here with us.
Hello
from Dubai. That is awesome.
I see my brother as well.
Really? Aw.
my twin
brother. From India, from Irvine, California. That's awesome. Brazil. Got a lot of people in. Pakistan. That's awesome.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah, a lot of countries.
I know. Ooh, awesome. We've got our winner. It's Axel Zapata. Cool. Congratulations. You get a chance to, or you have 100 free stickers from Sticker Mule. So if you didn't get a chance to win, though, there's still a chance for a deal. 10 stickers for $1 if you go to stickermule.com/AdobeLive19. So make sure to go to that. All right, well, let's dive back into your work.
Okay, cool. And then I'm just going to add this character here.
Awesome. Yeah, we all went with A, I think.
Yeah. And then,
that one's really cool.
You can just quickly select it like this. So, there's different ways of
course.
You can do this, but I really enjoy just using this, and then Command J, and then you just grab this one here.
Very cool.
And then here I will just also change a little bit the color here.
Very cool.
And also colors here.
So in about an hour, make sure that you guys submit to the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. We're going to be reviewing those in an hour. So yeah, if you haven't done that, you can go over to, it should be in the challenge tab right above the chat. So you can definitely go and submit there. Yeah, we're excited to see what you guys create. The challenge was to remove unwanted objects from Photoshop. So we'll see that later, which I think is very relevant to what you do. So
interesting, yeah. Okay, that's here. Then you just play a little bit with just rotate a little bit. You change you put it here. It all depends on how do you feel like the image is turning out, right? So
yeah, of course.
Then at the end I would just some more brightness, and then something that I also like to do. This is just for the whole image. I think I'm just going to use the vibrance again. Just because because they're like random images, they all have a different set of like colors, different temperatures.
Definitely.
And then there's something I always like.
Do you find that really hard sometimes, like when you are compositing, that you have to like mess with the lighting of each thing that you're compositing because you're putting it in a different space that it wasn't before, or like?
Sometimes sometimes they just too much. That happens to me sometimes. That I try to combine two images, and because one day was really like a sunny day,
right?
Then it was a really cloudy day, and then just the temperature is just doesn't work, and that sometimes can be a little bit annoying. And then here I would just use a grading map. You can also download different grading maps, and I would just put this on soft light. And then here, you would usually have like a bunch of here. And I just changed for computers, so I would just use this one here, this one here. I like this color a little bit.
That's cool.
I'll turn the opacity a little bit. Then you sort of have this cool looking effect on top of the whole thing to try to make everything more like to try to flatten the image a little bit.
Yeah, make everything a little bit more cohesive.
Yeah. And then this is sort of a. I mean, you can also use more brushes to to put on the edges and make, like, I don't know, maybe a wave just hits one of the, but like for example here a little bit.
Cool. Tim says you can click on the gear icon to load in more gradients.
Yes.
In the gradient editor.
Great.
He
great
says the
tip.
photographic gradients are a must-have.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I usually have a lot, but I just changed computers.
Oh, new
That's why
computer?
new computer.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, this is an example of what I like to do a lot is so I experimented a lot with like compositing, and I like the landscapes to look like kind of surreal, but almost real looking.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So I try to do the editing and still make it look like this image can be possible. That's the point.
Awesome. Renee says, to better cut the character with the mask, it is necessary to use mask and then contour of mask. Oh, cool.
Cool.
Thanks for the suggestion. Very cool. So tell us a little bit about your Adobe Creative Residence and how that's going.
Sure. The Adobe Creative Residence is a really great opportunity for us to just keep doing what we'd love to do. We have a lot of support, networking, and also, mentorship on the stuff we actually want to work on, what we want to focus on. It's an open, open call. Everyone, it's encouraged to apply, and I would just say just go for it. A friend sent me the link, and I applied, and suddenly interviews, and yeah, it's really cool. It's like a little family too. It's you have really talented artists from like a lot of countries right now. So that's
awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you, Tim, for putting that link there. You can go to adobe.com.
Oh yeah, thank you, Tim.
Adobe/creative.
You can read all about it. You can read what we are all doing. Everyone has a different project.
Yeah. Do you just work on one project?
I mean, it's
for the whole
like a
time,
main idea, but that idea sort of like changes a little bit.
Okay.
Some people are doing more like video, more XD design.
Okay.
So illustrations. So it depends a lot on what you want to work on, and just basically think on something you would be spending your whole year.
Yeah.
And just
Very cool.
if you think it's a crazy idea, just go for it. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Hi, Gustavo. How's it going? If you guys are just joining us, we are here with Juan Jose. He is a digital artist, and he works a lot with different landscapes and composite work. So he's got this shot that he took in Europe. So he's just showing us a little bit of compositing work with a diver and adding some water. Felipe says this is looking dope.
Thank you.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I mean, this is you can start, for example, what I would do here, I would just grab all of this, like just the diver, I put it on a multi folder. I mean, you can basically either combine them together or just put them on a separate file. Yeah, you just for example duplicate it, make it smaller, and just someone else like jumping through the other side. Then you could just multiply this one, make it smaller.
Yeah.
Then you can even like rotate
it so it's coming from the other side.
And this one is almost here, or like it's almost about to here.
Very cool.
So it's just about it's your
how you want it to
how
go.
you want. Yeah, exactly. There's no
right or wrong.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's awesome. Do you ever play with like blurring things like in the back, like with perspective or anything like that? Is that ever something that comes across?
Yes. Sometimes I try to do that. I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that you mention it, it's like, I'm going to start playing with that a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to play with another one.
Awesome.
If we have time.
That sounds great. Yeah, we definitely have time.
And it's also to show a little bit of different ways of like cutting an image.
Oh,
right?
perfect. Yeah.
And here.
Nicholas says, cheers from Peru.
Oh, yeah. Cheers. Yeah, Nicolas. Blowing out the sky.
Ooh, so.
Oh, here in this image. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. I could replace it.
Hi, Alexandra. How's it going? Thanks for joining us.
There are a lot of rubies there.
I know.
So, yeah, so I mean, there is a. It all depends. It's all up to you. If what do you feel like the image needs, or you can even add, like the one that I wanted to show before. I don't know if you have it here. Yes, this one.
This one?
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's go over to his Instagram real quick.
So I took this. I took this image in Chinatown, and then I just added like this lady walking there, the ocean, and there is someone swimming in the middle.
Yeah. Right here. And then someone swimming. That's cool. Cool.
Yeah, so there's really a lot of options there you can do.
Yeah. How do you know like when to like stop editing, or like what? How do you know when you're, you've finished an image or completed or feel like it's good enough? Do you feel like sometimes you don't stop, or?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I can just keep doing and doing and doing. I don't know. It's a weird, strange moment where you can just keep editing and editing and editing. Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, it all depends. It's all up to you, really.
Right.
If you want to spend, days. What I usually do is, I would, for example, try to. I make an edit, and then sometimes I would just leave it there for a while, and then I will come back.
And you kind of like come back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to, because you might get frustrated, or, I know that happens to me sometimes. I'm like, I'm going crazy with an image, and I like don't know what to do next, or need to just step away, and then it kind of feels refreshing to like come back to it, and you have like a new perspective.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like that's what we all need to do a little bit. When you're just working on your own, or just working on a project, sometimes you just don't see.
Cool. So what are you doing now?
I'm just creating another landscape, and in this case it's a picture I took from in upstate New York.
Cool.
And I'm just gonna put this image in like a desert sort of landscape, and then here, this is like easier ways to just delete.
Yeah, so you have the landscape underneath the layer?
Yes.
Okay, and then you're just kind of cutting it out. Okay, cool. Gina says, I have some street scenes I shot in Ireland last year. That gives me some inspiration to play with them.
Oh, that's cool, yeah. Cool. I would love to see them as well.
Yeah, traveling is such a great way to get inspiration. How often do you travel
I've been traveling a lot the past 2 years for like projects, work.
Yeah.
And also for like just by myself. And yeah, I think I've been kind of lacking in terms of I've been able to travel, but I always try to make that happen.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a short time.
Yeah. Very cool. Awesome. If you guys have any questions about Juan Jose's process or anything that you want to ask, hi Zoe.
You start having like different.
Whoa, that's really cool.
Kind of crazy.
How did you originally put that image in the square? Like, how did you change that, or
so
like the perspective? Or
I just literally just made like I just used the lasso tool. And I the same thing that I was doing before. Like,
you're just cutting out. It's all the same image.
It's all the same image.
Okay, cool.
I mean, and here you can if you want add different images, right? Let's say just grab like this one here. This is from a hike I just did.
Yeah.
And then here, just put
do you ever spend a lot of time just like looking for random images? And
yeah.
You must have such a big like library.
Yeah, and that's actually how I first started. I first started doing it with okay, let's try this. Let's see if this works. So you just start like.
Okay. Tim says, would you feather the selection, and if so, how many pixels?
Modify with feather selection.
I think like to make it like softer.
Oh, what selection you mean? Here? Yeah, I mean, like here on the edges, I guess.
Oh.
Oops, no. Oops, no.
Cool. Oh, he says, Tim says where you have removed the wall. Yeah.
If I what?
Where you have removed the wall, like the feathering. Because the edges, he says the edge is pretty sharp.
Oh yeah, here. Yeah, I mean it's I don't exactly know how it would go after this, but this was basically just to try to show how I just start thinking of composing the landscapes.
Of course.
I love the hair of the girl.
Oh, thank you, Philippa. Oh. Very random, but thank you. Awesome. That's cool. Where was this shot? This image with the chairs and...
So this is upstate New York.
Okay, cool.
And then, this is sort of something that I...
Do you ever just like group things like based on like what they are, or do you just, it's based all in one folder of like the location?
Yeah, like right now I'm just gonna show like this is just all in one place because I just put it on the computer, and this is sort of like the idea of how I try to take pictures, right? Like
wide shots for sure.
Wide shots,
cool.
wide shots.
And what camera do you use, and like lens and?
This is just like
pretty.
So I just changed to Sony.
Oh really?
Yeah.
The like mirrorless.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And I changed from Canon to Sony. I'm really happy about it.
Yeah.
It's also.
I'm sure it's a lot more lightweight and like easier to travel with too, right?
Yeah. I still have the Canon lens with the adapter, so it's pretty big. Yeah. And for example, stuff like this. So it's. I just try to have a lot of things that I can start composing with.
That's awesome. Julio says hi from Ecuador.
Hi, Julio.
Very cool.
How's it going? Yeah. Let's see what else.
Sweet.
I also...
Alberto says, which Sony?
A7R3.
Cool.
I know they just released a new one.
Yeah.
The A7R4s.
I'm not a Sony person. I'm completely Canon, but...
Which one do you have?
I have the Canon 5D Mark III.
Okay, cool. Well, I don't like
But that's cool. I mean, yeah, I'm sure traveling with the Sony is great, and I've heard lots of good things about it, so.
Yeah, I'm really happy also because, for example, let me just try something here. Let's try with this building here. What I like a lot about this camera is that you have so many pixels that at some point you could just like crop in. And you don't actually lose a lot of like detail. I'll show you.
Oh.
You see, you still have a lot.
Yeah, you still have a lot.
So you can just, now I can just take like this sort of wide. I have this wide shot, and then I just want to focus on
like a specific thing.
Yeah, and I can just crop in and zoom in.
And are you always shooting kind of at like a smaller aperture to like get a lot more detail, right?
Yes.
You want all that detail in there. That's very cool. Cool.
And then I want to show you something else that I did here, which is
let's take a look.
And this is something I like to do with my work in general. So I try to, like, this is my website.
So we're looking at Juan Jose's website. It's juanjose.xyz.
And, I try to combine, for example, in this exercise, I would just edit, like, random images using code. And I would just use Photoshop and After Effects, and then I would just create this sort of, like, I don't know if you can hear a sound, but it's just
probably not.
It's like a symphony of crazy random images from YouTube, cool. Creating this sort of a television effect. And it's what I like a lot about this all the tools we have now. You know, you can just. That's why you
combine.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah, and that's what I love to do. I'm learning. I'm using different 3D tools to create landscapes now, which gives me the ability to sort of not necessarily have to travel to a place to take a picture now.
Yeah,
I can just sort of compose.
You can compose it, you can make it up, and then take it into your photography.
Yeah. I would still travel for sure, like.
Of course.
But this is just another tool you have.
Yeah.
Right?
So awesome. Felipe says, "Whoa, cool." Awesome. Yeah, I mean, if you want to show us anything else, that'd be awesome. Cool to see.
This makes me want to run to the city and just snap.
Patrick says, "This makes me want to run to the city and just snap a ton of random pictures to play with. Thanks for the inspiration."
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's what I do. Even here, you know, just for example, here in the water, I would just, you know, have a white shot, and then I'll have that really detailed shot. And originally, I don't know what I'm gonna do with them.
You just kind of take all these things and
I just
come up with stuff later.
Yeah, I just take pictures of things that I think I'm gonna be able to work on later on. Tomorrow, I'm thinking of either doing a more complicated landscape or also sort of show how I did this sort of thing. Let me show you, like this.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that composition.
So here,
Tim says, "How would you match the colors of a subject in the foreground and the background if the color temperature doesn't match, for example?"
Yeah, hey Tim. So I would just try to play a lot with like color balance, bright, vibrant. What else do you have here? Saturation, levels, curves. But you know, it's like what we were talking about before. Sometimes what happens to me is that even though I feel like the image matches, the color doesn't match.
Right. Yeah.
So and that's what I feel like. I have to start thinking of another image to use, even though, and that happens to me a lot. So I will play a lot with colors, and then if I see that it's not working, I would just try to.
Yeah, you just scrap it and do something else.
Yeah, but that's a really good question. It's a tough one too.
Yeah, you either like work on it if you want it to make it work. You can. I'm sure you can figure it, like, you know, all the details and the adjustments.
Yeah.
But yeah. Felipe says, "I think perspective is the most difficult." Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think composition in general it's really is the most like interesting or difficult thing on you know, how to compose it, how to think of the elements in the image. Sometimes you just don't want everything in the center, or you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, I wouldn't say perspective, but it is one of them. But in general, composition in general, it's really.
Axel says maybe a shark swimming there.
Oh yeah, that could work for sure.
Have you ever taken pictures of sharks?
Of shark? No, but that's a new thing that I would like to do. Maybe, you know, maybe I'll go in a month.
Maybe you'll keep going with this whole swimming and ocean. Yeah. You know, you got the divers. Now you're going to go into sharks.
Okay, you should try out the match color dialog in Photoshop.
Oh,
cool.
That's cool.
Okay, I'm gonna try it today, and if you're here tomorrow, Tim, I'm gonna
So
use
image, adjustments, and then match color. Wow, I didn't know that was
I didn't know
really
either.
Cool. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, I'm gonna explore it today for sure. Thanks, Tim. That's super cool.
So what would you say is like the hardest part about doing your kind of work and compositing, and what takes you the longest? What's the easiest? And
the longest is for sure taking the images and making the compositions.
Yeah.
That's like the longest thing that. And after that, composition would be what takes me the most for sure.
Yeah.
I think composition it's something which is great right now with for example Instagram or Behance or all these websites where you can get inspiration of artists and people doing this. And that gives you a lot of ideas on how to start composing your images.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting a lot of inspiration from your images, I think.
Yeah, it's I started like this basically. I just started taking pictures and then looking at them and just sort of messing around. And you're gonna start learning a lot of different tools.
Yeah,
You're gonna start learning
different
your own way
ways.
of doing your things.
Yeah, of course. Was there anybody that inspired you? Any other type of photographers or people that were kind of doing something similar? Or
Yeah, so I mean, at the beginning, I was just I was following a lot of photographers, and but then when you start doing compositing,
yeah,
suddenly you start seeing like a different new world of people doing amazing stuff.
yeah,
And
definitely.
then I mean, I feel like we all have our own style, and what I like to do is more of a kind of like a realistic kind of Photoshop editing.
Yeah,
Still, it's not real, but that's sort of like my style.
yeah.
And
How would you define realistic? Like what would make your? Because I feel like people would probably see this and be like, no, that's not realistic.
yeah.
But then,
So I would say I want you to look at my images and be like, I think this is real, but it's definitely not. That's the main.
yeah.
Here in white and black compositions. Yeah, let me show you here from the Instagram.
Cool.
So I did this a while ago.
So Tim had asked, do you also create black and white composites?
That's like a different world for sure. But I've been exploring that as well. Let me show you a series that I did. I call this the Reading Man, and it's all in
cool.
black and white.
That's awesome.
And it's different to think of black and white for sure. And sometimes for like image manipulation in terms of the editing can be a little bit easier in the sense of you don't have to be crazy about matching the colors exactly.
Yes,
It's
that's true. You have have a little more leeway as far as how you place things together.
But definitely, it's a new different world. Just doing black and white for sure. So I wouldn't say easier. I think that wasn't but it's gives you the ability. Okay, I have more flexibility.
Flexibility, yes.
But then you are also editing in black and white, which is you have so many different tones of gray. You can work on blacks and whites. So.
And Tim says, and when you're working on black and white composites, how do you draw attention to a certain object part of the shot? That's a great question.
Yeah, that's.
I know, especially when everything is black and white. So,
So
usually color.
Yeah.
You can like direct your eye towards a really bright color or fun color, but how do you do that in black and white?
Yeah, that's a really, really cool question. So when I created this series, well, this first image is actually it's wider, like has other characters. And here I didn't think about, for example, drawing the attention to any specific.
Anything
I would
specific,
just look at all the different subjects in the picture. But then I did a lot of like the main thing was like the subject, but also to think of the landscape.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it really well. But it's more of like if you see here.
Oh, cool.
And I think in this particular case, I want the focus always to be on the subjects. But the scene had to do a lot with it as well. Like the main thing is the character, but the whole scene it's also part of.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to explain, it's. But I think here I would just take the first thing I would see here is just the Broadway Lafayette.
Yes.
Sign.
Yeah, that stands out pretty.
And then,
Most to me.
The first time you see it is like a normal image, but then you're like, oh yeah, there's this person without a head.
Yeah, so Tim says right. So you can use perspective and leading lines to draw attention to the people. Yeah, for sure. I think perspective plays a lot in this, on these black and white composites for sure. Like especially in that one that you showed us.
Which one? With the?
It was this. I lost it already.
Oh,
The one earlier.
Not this one, right?
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
See how that one's like,
Mm-hmm.
this one's more forward. And then it kind of leads your eye through the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, I also play here on, like depth, sort of.
Yeah. Were all of these different, different people or?
No, it's the same
Or it's
person. You just, you use a tripod.
Oh, okay.
And you make the same person just pose in different.
Pose in different.
And then the
okay.
editing
Was
is
this
pretty.
one of your model?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
This is pretty straightforward. It's not that complicated. I can work a little bit tomorrow on that.
Yeah.
And the
awesome.
question from Filipa.
Yes. Does this photo manipulation have a story behind it?
Yeah. So for example, this specific image was about an article about people being manipulated by the media. So I developed these characters that they don't have an identity, sort of. They just believe in
everything that they see
everything
in
that
here.
they see in newspapers or any other. So I just, I call it the reading man.
Very cool. Arul says, do you use Lightroom?
Yes. So what I will do is like for example, all these images here, I edit them first on Lightroom.
Awesome.
And
Yeah, maybe
that's where
tomorrow we can.
Oh yeah,
that.
for sure.
You
I can
start there, and
edit.
then
Yeah, I
you
have a
can
lot of
move on over.
images from my trip. I can do some
Cool.
from some Lightroom for sure.
Hi,
tomorrow.
Tima. Hello.
Yeah, so Lightroom is the first where I do the first editing, and then Photoshop is where I do all the compositing.
Cool.
That's my workflow.
Awesome. So we have a little less than half an hour before we are going to jump over to Discord. If you haven't submitted your Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge, make sure to do that. There is a challenge button above the chat, so make sure you are submitting those. We'll be reviewing those in a little bit. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions, Tima says, very Renee Magritte inspired. I would say so.
Yeah. Which is funny, but how sometimes, inspiration works, because I didn't think about that when I was doing, or when I was thinking of the image.
Yeah.
But once it was...
At the Reading Man one?
Yeah. But once I had it, many people were like, oh, this reminds me of this.
Yeah,
and
it
then,
is very Magritte, I would say.
And then, yeah, for sure, sometimes you just... That's how, your conscious works. You just have it there, and somehow you
Yeah. How do you go about finding your models, or and kind of coming up with the concept?
So in terms of models, I ask a lot of friends or people that want to do crazy stuff on the streets.
Yeah.
And here in this case I went to school with him, and then we worked together for a while, and he asked me to actually do the illustration for the article,
cool.
and then I was like, okay, I have this idea, let's just go for it.
Let's do it.
And he loves to do all this theatrical stuff.
Yeah, was this in New York?
In New York, yeah.
Very
in New
cool.
York. David, good friend. And then the other one is so this I love this sort of characters a lot. So this, for example, is kind of what I was doing before when I first started using Photoshop, and I would just I don't know. I think like simple things are really, really, really nice. I like
more minimal.
Yeah, more minimal kind of images. I also did more, more
like
Photoshop,
reflections and stuff like that. Very cool.
Or more things coming out of I think some people were talking there like, oh, try to make water coming out of the windows.
Out of things, or windows, or
I did a lot of explorations on this, and like the style that I do right now, it's more like I try to use less effects, I feel, and for example, I did this for a show here. I think I have where I basically just
oh, cool! You just kind of did a bunch of wires.
Yeah, into wires and characters.
Sweet. Felipa asks, what do you do when you're creatively blocked? And what about procrastination? What do you do when that happens?
Oh, that's a good question. It's crazy. Procrastination is... sometimes I do it all the time. It's funny how maybe sometimes under pressure works better.
Works better, I
but
know.
sometimes when you are bored, you start having a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
I read something about it, about like just being bored. It just makes you think a lot, I think.
Makes you go in different ways that you wouldn't normally if you're like really juiced and,
Sometimes I'm also
energized.
just really, really blocked, and that's when.
What do you do then?
I travel. I try to go somewhere, and can be somewhere like really,
super
really
close or
super close.
Yeah.
Then, for example, here, you can see more of this kind of stuff. Procrastination is my middle name. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's
a struggle for sure.
It's a struggle for sure. I have this is more like faces or feet.
This looks so creepy.
And Tim, I will do something about my procrastination probably tomorrow. That's exactly the. But I think the more you do, the more you start thinking about. For example, this is like a graffiti. Then I start doing more like physical stuff. I think it's just a matter of start doing things, and then ideas are.
So how does that like process go though? When like do you ever work with clients or like do you ever do your art for anything? Has anyone ever approached you to like create something in your style or? In
this kind of like crazy compositing a little bit, but I mean not as crazy as this for sure. But some kind of like compositing for sure, like posters or
posters and stuff.
Yeah, but this is something I was doing it not in a professional way, sort of. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of the path that I wanna keep focusing now on. Before was more of doing like more of documentary kind of work, and also I explore a lot of mediums. I created some VR, AR stuff.
Very cool.
So it's and I feel like at the end I can just be able to grab images, put it on real life. Technology keeps changing and evolving, and I feel like our work.
Linda says she's proud.
Oh, thank you, my mom.
Oh, hi, Mom. That's so awesome. It must be so exciting to see your son up here. Tima says, eventually something stupid turns into something funnier.
Yeah,
cool.
That's true. That's true.
There is no wrong way or bad way of getting to something.
Yeah, I don't think it's
even like the worst things can lead into something really good. So it just totally depends. Very cool. Awesome. Well, I mean, if you want to show us anything else that you're working on or compositing.
For example, here, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a time of the day when you're more
creative?
Yeah, I'm completely a night person. I mean, during the day I kind of work, but I feel way more inspired in the night. Yeah. I prefer nights completely. Sometimes I don't do any
any work during the day.
No. And then 10, 11
comes around and you're like I want to do something.
And then it's 5 a.m. in the morning, 6 a.m. Like I have to wake up the next day early.
Oh no.
That's kind of how it works.
Yeah, I know. It happens like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Our rule says notice some of the images in black and white. Any reason? So is there any reason why you would choose to do black and white over color? Or? Yeah, we're seeing.
So I mean, I don't have a specific like answer to that. I feel like sometimes I just feel it. Sometimes I feel okay. This would look way better in black and white.
Yeah.
And for example, the Reading Man series, I plan to do that in black and white. But some of them were just me playing with the editing, and I felt it looks better in black and white.
Yeah. Cool.
I also love to do this kind of stuff, like here, and I just change all the signs and
all
letters.
The signs.
Yeah.
Is there any reason for that, or you just kind of?
I think it's just my way of reimagining,
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed you did that in the first image that you were working on, where you copied the P over.
Yeah.
Gina says, I just feel it. It's sometimes the best answer for anything creative.
Team Night All, yeah.
Hi,
That's
Rico.
why Photoshop.
How's it going? If you guys are joining us, we are here with Juan Jose. He is just talking a little bit about his work and his compositing work, and what inspires him and his process.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, what Gina says, between 11 and 2, it's I'm also really, really productive in that time.
Yeah.
And yeah, easily I can also work until 4 a.m. for sure.
Super late.
And yeah, you are mentioning Project Arrow. That's something I'm also experimenting right now. It's so when you create like VR or AR experiences, sometimes you have to deal with all the like uploading to the phone, and there's a lot of debugging. And this just gives you the tool to just start making things without worrying about how to do that. And that's really, time saving, because not many people know how to code, and then just that's a really interesting project Adobe is coming up with.
So Tima says, or asks, do you always know what you're making before you start, or does it come as you go? Which one do you enjoy more, planned or accidental masterpieces? That's a great question.
I would say it's half-half. I think I have the idea. Once I'm walking around, I see something, I say, okay, I'm gonna definitely do something here in this window, in this street, in this corner. Which one I have? I think the ones are like more accidental.
Yeah.
I feel like in terms of fun, right? I feel like it's. I mean, there's no pressure. You're just messing around.
You're kind of just messing around. Sometimes when you do have an idea and you have a concept, like, and you're so stuck on it, you might get frustrated. Maybe it doesn't always work out, and so then you kind of have to, divert. And sometimes if you don't have it planned, and it's more like you're just doing it as you go, sometimes it's less pressure for sure.
And how would you decide if you want to remove an object from the scene? Oh, for example, a yellow sign. Okay. Oh,
everyone sees the yellow sign.
Oh, the one here. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's all sometimes when I do an edit, and I know there is a part that it doesn't really work really well. Some people, they don't notice, but I notice as soon as I see the picture.
Yeah.
But it's all about your point of view and your perspective.
Right,
Right,
of course.
But yeah, that yellow sign, now that you mention, I'm like, I would just want to go
and remove it now.
Yeah.
Felipe says, what age did you started on this area? Did you get started?
So, I think I was working before doing videos and TV commercials.
Oh, cool.
But I've never did something like on my own. I would just.
You were always part of the project.
Yeah.
Part of the team.
And I started doing this, I feel like maybe 3 years ago.
Cool.
And that's where I started like doing it almost every day, and then now I feel like this is the path that I want to keep following.
Continue on. Yeah. That's awesome. Deborah says, this may have been asked already, but how much original photography do you use versus stock?
So I've been using probably 90% of my images.
Original?
Original, yeah. Now that we have access to like Adobe Stock, sometimes I may use an image, but mostly just my stuff,
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you ever feel like you go back to a certain location, like, from all your travels and stuff? Do you, kind of always go back to like maybe like Europe or New York, or like how do you just like open up an image and you just go from there?
I think, and this is something that like happened to me when I started doing all these image manipulations, images. When I started with Instagram like 4 or 5 years ago, I was just pictures. I was just posting pictures that I was taking.
Yeah.
But the way I was doing it, I would just email me my images.
Yeah.
I would download it on my phone, and then I would just post it.
Yeah.
But because of that, even though I didn't have my hard drive at the time, or I've lost all the pictures, I had everything on my email. So I started downloading everything from my emails, and then suddenly I started having like pictures that I took in Peru, like 8 years ago, and I was just using them for the compositions.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was really, really interesting.
That's smart. There you go. A little paper trail, but email trail.
And I didn't plan that, that was my way to upload it on Instagram.
Yeah.
all the time.
Tima says, what kind of subjects, objects are hardest to work with for you?
What kind of subject? I think, working with people is always a challenge.
Yeah.
In terms of directing, in terms of, especially also, when you are, let me see if I have a picture of, for example, where is this? Documents.
So Tim says, I think I missed it, but what is your project for the creative residency this year? Do you want to talk a little bit about your project?
My project is called Impossible Stories, and I'm using, so this first part of the residency, I'm focusing on learning and developing skills in new 3D softwares.
Cool.
And then I'm going to use them to create images, all of them together. So I'm right now building landscapes using 3D tools, also weird objects that I can just include on the images. So my idea is to create visual stories, either still or motion, about like things that can or may not happen. It's about to use different tools to create images.
Yeah.
About telling stories with that.
Very cool.
Okay, so here, for example, this is a couple of things I'm working on. I'm working on a series about a musician.
Oh.
And
that's a real interesting instrument.
Yeah, and to work with someone, you have to be patient. They also have to be patient. You have to direct them, depending if it's really hot. That day was really, really hot. He had this thing on his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it for the After Effects. And also, for example, here, this is a friend of mine, Ben. He's also takes a lot of pictures, like outdoors, especially. But he's always open to, and down to go and
shoot
and help me with this stuff. But I took a lot of pictures of him, like this.
Oh wow! And is this something you plan on?
I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow here.
Oh, awesome!
Live.
We're excited.
And it's just you have to work with people, and that's a challenge for sure all the time.
Are you using a tripod? Yeah, right. To keep everything still.
Yeah. So in this case, you do that effect of sort of multiplication. I mean, it's really easy once you. So the idea is, you go to a street or whatever you want the background to be. You put the tripod, and then you just make the character move.
In different spots.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then you just you start editing. You start just adding the characters. And then it's gonna take a while because you have to do every character, but at the end is the image you want to create.
Yeah, these kind of composites are really fun. I think when you get to multiply a person, makes it very interesting looking. Cool.
And in this case, I also plan. I didn't.
Was this more of a planned?
Yeah, exactly. But again, I think we went like 5 hours sort of shooting, and I didn't really use all the images. So some of the series, I'm not even going to use them because I don't like them. So that's a lot that happens when you go.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, you kind of take a lot just so that you can get to, or you have the images that you really like, and the other ones, well, Tima has a lot of great questions. She says, photo manipulations can be hard to make personal or super original, especially since all humans relatively have the same kinds of body parts. How do you avoid repetitive imagery ideas?
It's hard to make personal or super. Yeah, really good question. It's hard because and something that happens all the time is
you see make something and then
or you make an image, right, and people like it, and for example you you like that image a lot, and then you're gonna start working on another one. You want that image to be better than the previous one, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. You know, so it's tough. It's sort of finding your, you know, being feel good about the images you're making, not thinking, oh, hi, okay, I have to make something necessarily way better.
Yeah.
It's hard. Sometimes I had a lot of problems with that.
Yeah, for sure. Tima says he. Sorry, Tima.
Like in this one here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So when I created this one.
So Tim says, I noticed this person doesn't have a hard shadow. Was that on purpose? I bet it makes the.
So when I created this
easier.
image, it was with him as well.
Oh, cool.
So I had a lot of problems with the shadows because the sun was like from this side and reflecting a lot.
Yes.
So we didn't actually plan that, but we found this place where and the sun was it wasn't
shade.
sunny, and it was like no shadows at all, which is it's when you're trying to make this kind of repetitive sort of images, it's better to work with. Because shadows, I mean, I love shadows, but can be a little bit
trickier.
Yeah.
Then it kind of looks like all the shadows are kind of on the wrong, you know, they don't all look cohesive when you're working in like direct sunlight.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so open shade is definitely easier for that.
Yeah.
Rodrigo says, big fan over here.
Oh, thank you.
I know, Tima says, it looks like a cloudy
Where are you
day.
writing from, Rodrigo? Please, what is the simplest method for cutting hair? Oh.
Super hard.
Super hard. Yeah.
Get someone with no hair.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, but Photoshop, there's like cool...
yeah.
I can dig into that and find a simpler way to do that. But yeah, cutting hair, it's...
yeah, it's hard. I know. Usually there's like the select mask.
Mm-hmm.
I usually like to use that tool for hair. But I mean, that's why it's always so important to smooth it out in, you know, when you get the chance before taking it over to Photoshop when you're taking the photo. Tim says, do you have a project to recommend for compositing beginners?
Yeah, so in the end of the month, I'm going to do a daily challenge as well. And I also wrote an article about this. It's how I started and how I approach learning new tools, which is I just take this sort of, for example, 30-day challenge on learning Cinema 4D, and every day just create something.
Yeah.
And that's like an approach that I would recommend everyone just, you know.
Challenge yourself to something every day.
And that's how I learned Photoshop. I did it for 100 days. It's a lot, 100 days, so maybe try 30 at the beginning.
Yeah.
But that's a really good way to just, you know, feel and you know, post on social media, because that makes you also feel okay, I have to post something.
You have to post something.
It's going to start connecting you with people.
You're like held accountable by Instagram.
Yeah, we're going to have more information about that in the next weeks, in the next days. But end of August. So right now we are you know, redefining all the things we're going to be doing. But yeah, we're going to have something related to that. And then, you know, that helped me a lot. May not be the way for you, but I recommend this. I also wrote a Medium article about this. I'm gonna share with everyone later.
Cool.
But yeah, that's my approach.
Yeah. So just challenging yourself like every day and having something, posting to Instagram so that you.
Yeah,
you know.
Behance. Yeah, the DCCs. Yeah. For sure.
Cool.
Yeah, Tim is everywhere.
Yeah, the daily creative
Thanks for all the
awesome.
support, Tim. Yeah.
Alberto says Refine Edge. That's the tool that you probably want to use for hair.
Yeah.
Oh, Rodrigo says we love you here in Peru. Very cool. Thanks, guys. We have about like 5 minutes. If you haven't submitted your daily creative challenge, make sure to do that because we're going to be reviewing them shortly. So if you guys have any other questions for Juan Jose, please let us know in the chat, or anything that you'd like to say, comments. We're here for it.
Yeah. The advice that I've been keep saying this whole almost 2 hours is just go and do things. Just start creating.
Yeah. that's the best way to learn and, you know, to kind of start messing around and seeing what your style is if you're just starting out. Dama says, I hope you can review my picture in Discord. Yeah, we'll definitely get a chance to do that in a little bit. So that's awesome. Cool.
Let me see if I have something else here. It's giving me a headache. Oh, of course.
I know, that's a challenge.
Yeah, that's a challenge.
Cool.
Also, when you have this, but it's a cool exercise, you know, it's when you have this amount of time to create something.
Yeah. It might even be a great challenge, too, to, like, create something every day, but give yourself, like, a timer, too, almost like, okay, do it fast, but then maybe another day can be like, okay, you have an hour, or, you know, just kind of switch it up, but always challenging yourself.
Yeah. For example, here, where is this? You know, sometimes even from one same image, you can make it look completely different. This is something that I did before. Mm-hmm. This is the image that I took, and then I just converted this into...
Oh, just like one.
Yeah.
Cool.
And, you know, it's just simple little things. But once you edit them, it's a whole new different picture, you know. Like,
yeah, totally.
I didn't like, you know, the trees
green.
here.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of distractive, and then here.
And that's as simple as cropping. Cool.
And, you know, I took this picture, and then I started messing with it about a month later or something like that.
Oh,
so it's
yeah.
not...
So how quickly do you get to your images once you take them and then,
so
you know?
I usually have my camera with me. So sometimes I just see a picture and then or an image, and I just go, I take the picture, and then I try to work on that image as soon as I can, but sometimes I just forget about it, and like a month later,
and then
I'm like, oh,
to it.
yeah.
Hi, Rashan.
Hello. So we're almost close to...
Yeah, we've got about 3 minutes. Make sure you are submitting those daily creative challenges because we're going to get to review them shortly. But yeah, someone had asked, Rodrigo had asked, where are you going next? Are you traveling anytime soon after this? I know you just came back from Europe, but...
Yeah, no, I feel like even though I like traveling a lot, airplanes and airports are...
They're not the business. They're kind of draining sometimes.
Huh?
They're kind of draining.
Yeah,
sometimes.
no, and you know, Monday I was it's in Europe. Then I flew to New York, and yesterday I flew to San Francisco. And you know, it's...
Oh my goodness.
It's the same country here, but it's like 6 hours flight from New York, San Francisco. That's the hard part. And right now I'm like just a couple of weeks without travel.
Yeah, without any travel. Rachel asked, what kind of camera do you have? You had answered her
so
earlier.
right now I changed from Canon to Sony. So I have a Sony A7R3. Yeah, A7R3.
Cool. And what lenses do you end up usually using when you're traveling?
So
or taking photos?
Yeah, I usually have a zoom lens, because when you are, you know, doing this sort of a documentary or documenting images just for to have a big library, you don't know, you know, you see something happening and it's gonna take you a while to go there, you know. So you need something to be really flexible to be able to play with. Yeah. So that's why I like to have a zoom lens almost. Every time
it's a little bit more. Yeah, you get a little bit more flexibility. You can zoom in photos or when you're shooting. Yeah, that's cool. Awesome.
Oh, if I resize, yeah, sometimes I do that.
Javier says, how do you resize, crop your pictures so you can post them on social media like Instagram?
Yeah, so depending on the image, for example, here. No, where is this? Here, I knew I wanted to post it on Instagram, so I just created like a square composition. Okay. I think it was 2000 by 2000 because the picture that I'm taking is really big. You know, the Sony that I just bought is it's really big and no, that like the pixels, and so I'm able to just crop in, so I can just, you know.
And you still capture all that detail.
Yeah. But if
Did
I
you
know
end up
this,
adding to the right side of that
Yeah,
image?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I
the
noticed.
right, the bottom, and the top.
Okay. Okay. Cool. And you just grab that from the other side?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And that's the cool about the masking because it just sort of like smooth transitions. You can just sort of match them together. Yeah.
Rachel asks, do you ever utilize Bridge?
Bridge? Not yet. But there's a first time for everything.
For everything. Alberto says, you can also just work on your project, and when you are done, export it out for web and set it to 1080 by 1080 just to make sure your artboard is square.
Yeah, it's
so many ways to export an image
ways,
too. I know sometimes, like for Instagram, you almost want to make sure that you are exporting for web because the quality can downgrade tremendously when you're posting it to Instagram. So cool. Awesome, you guys. We are going to head over to Discord for the design feedback. Let's head over. Okay, I'm just going to refresh this real quick. Cool. So let's go down all the way. Here, I'll move over my mouse just so you can see. All right, so this one is
The challenge was to remove something.
Yes.
Okay.
Remove unwanted objects in Photoshop.
And you could use anything you want. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many tools. This one's from Ahood 2011. Let's take a look. I'm going to just zoom in real quick. Awesome. Yeah, so he took care of a lot of the dirt and the distracting objects on the ground. He took out this little round thing. That's pretty good.
I like how he also changed, highlight the colors.
Yeah, the colors
contrast.
look more contrasted, a little bit more sharp too. He took care of this guy over here. Yeah, it's really cool. And then even like this little crack in the pillar too. Yeah, it's so cool when you start noticing like all the little details.
Yeah.
Great job. I'm curious to know what you used.
Could be also cool to try to, well, I don't know if the original picture had, try to add more texture on the wall here.
Yeah.
But great job, yeah.
Yeah, this looks really good.
Even even here on the bottom, this little.
Yeah, he even moved a little, or removed some of the stuff
the
on
dirt,
his shoe
yeah,
too.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, great work.
Yeah, good job. Awesome. And then here is Samzilla, day 2 before on the left, after on the right. Okay. Awesome. So it looks like he removed this little guy that was right here. This little
wow.
rope.
Really good job, huh?
And also this fountain or whatever, or like a pot planted. Very cool. That's pretty good. I'm curious what tools he uses as well.
I'm curious too.
I know.
Yeah, that's pretty well done.
Yeah, very good job. I'm like trying to see if there's anything else that I noticed that he took out.
Also, when it's blurry, it's or out of focus, it's different. It's
it
different.
Is different. Yeah, I know. Sometimes when you're using either the spot healing brush or the patch tool, it's hard when something's like blurred out too, because it could come out a little bit different. So you kind of have to use a multitude of tools. Awesome. Okay, this is Jared. So let's see. So they removed the shadow.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. They added some contrast and stuff. But the only thing that I would say is this is a little bit distracting right here. So I would maybe grab it from over on this side just to help clean it out a little bit.
They changed the whole color.
The coloring is a little bit different too. But
yeah, this is for sure distracting.
Yeah, I would say just to work on this one. Maybe just grabbing it from the other side to make it a little bit less noticeable because it's right next to her head. But yeah, good job on removing the shadow, and that's awesome. Okay. Great work, you guys. All right, so here is Axel. This is day 2 of removing unwanted objects. Whoa, he went above and beyond and like moved this person up. So he took care of all of the bottom watermarks.
He even had some shadow of him.
Yeah, oh my
That's
gosh,
really cool.
That's
yeah.
really cool.
he also added like splash.
Splashes too. Yeah, that's really cool. He removed this background over here and even this whole bush right here.
Wow.
That's cool. The only thing I would say, everything looks great. I would say maybe just removing even this as well, because that one kind of remained here. If we're going to go all clean,
Yeah. I mean,
or add,
the pools are usually like.
I know. Yeah, I guess it just depends on your style.
Yeah.
If you want to take
But
it
yeah,
or not.
great work removing.
Yeah.
Stuff. I like the shadow a lot. I know that adding shadows on
Was it part
texture
of the- yeah.
on textures can be
It's
quite
hard.
difficult. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is impressive though. This whole bush right here, you probably had to like grab it from something else to add that in. Great job.
Yeah, even it looks like. I mean, it's the same picture, but looks like even like changed a little.
Yeah,
bit.
I changed a little bit. Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. All right, let's get back in here. Whoa. So many photos. Let's see. I don't see a before and after, but
This one,
yeah.
right? But where's the other image?
I know. I'm like looking for it.
Sorry for somebody. Maybe. Oh wait. What?
Let's see.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Ah, got it. Oh, so this is like compositing work. Let's see. I think this might have been. Oh, wow. Okay, so he went above and beyond to composite.
Okay.
Cool. And he took a couple of different pictures of this snake and the looks like an apple or something, like candied apple.
Oh, no, yeah, it's a pumpkin. No,
Yeah,
it's
or
not.
a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Cool. I like the colors. I would say maybe just a little bit more smoother as far as these. That's pretty cool though. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. This is from Lucky Cindy. This was the before and this is the after. So they removed this the green hose and cropped in.
Even the.
Yeah,
All the
even all the
cables.
cables and stuff. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, because I would say those are a little bit distracting, so that was cool.
I like that. Yeah, it removed the cables, but you can still see the
You can
reflection.
still see the yeah, very cool. Awesome.
Here as well. Yeah.
Which one?
No, I like in the window here.
Oh yeah, you're right. You did remove the stuff in the window. Very cool. Good job. And again, there's so many ways to do this. So Sister Carrie, she removed the light fixture and mirror and string on the shade. I enjoyed this tutorial.
Nice camera.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, and all the numbers in the in the clock. Cool.
Everything here.
Oh yeah, even this right back here, the lamp. Yeah, sweet. Good job, guys. Nice cleaning up. And then, oh, I remember seeing in this daily creative challenge.
So I think this is the left is the new.
Yep. They removed the pole, and looks like the watch as well. Yeah, I remember seeing this daily creative challenge. Very cool. And even this pole in the back too. This one. Yeah, good job, guys.
Yeah, for example, here it's really cool to see two different editings, in terms of color.
Yeah.
But depending on what you're going to use them for, this can work better, for I don't know, let's say you want to print them, I don't know, so depending on the style, the mood of the brand you're working on.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. I think we saw this one earlier. And then here is, oh wow, that's incredible. They removed this whole thing back here. This is the original
I'm
image.
sure that was a lot of work. Huh?
That's a lot of work. Did you do this this whole time? Sweet. I'm like trying to pick out what else they removed.
I think
All of the stuff on the ground too. Like this over here.
all the colors they changed. I like the new version.
I like the
better.
new version too. Sweet. Okay. Shahid. This is the
I removed
before.
one of the.
Oh my god, you removed one of the people. Nice job. That's hard. I'm always intimidated by like removing a person. Unless they're super, super far away. But if they're, if there's a lot of detail in the back, it's always so challenging.
Yeah, great work.
So good job. And it seems like it's an image that's like not very
Yeah,
high resolution. So I'm sure that was even more difficult.
I'm curious. How do you decide which one to erase?
I know.
Who did this?
This was Shahid.
Shahid. How did you decide which one to erase?
Yeah.
That would be fun to hear.
Cool. Good job, guys. All right. And we've got a few more. Sherry. This is before and after, so they removed this little cement thing and this corner wood. Nice. Good job, guys. Oh, wow. So this is the before, I'm assuming? This is Leslie Higgins. She went ahead and removed literally almost everything and added Esther. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here you can look a little bit, but
yeah, just like a little bit here, maybe just like a little bit more cleaning up, but other than that, it's,
But yeah, great work with
I like
the
that you
shapes.
added something else in there.
And that's not easy to do because
No.
there's no like information there. Just
I know.
can we see the first one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Good job.
Can,
I could
can
do.
we
I
see it
can
again,
see.
then?
Yeah, I can see that this one. It kind of they brought it over from this because like this is kind of repeating a little bit. I would maybe just like go back in and like remove these, maybe 3 of them or something like that, just to. Because I think this makes it a little bit more obvious that it was, duplicated.
Yeah, here, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But I love that you added that.
Yeah, I really like the star.
That's awesome. Okay. This is Ahood, 2011. Very cool. I love this. I like that they removed all these poles. It makes the focus more on her.
Mm-hmm.
And even some of the distractions down here next to her shin, knee. Yeah. I feel like this was also like very like a lot more easier too because you have a lot to play with. You got a lot of white space here that you can grab from. So that makes it super easy.
But okay. No, yeah. Yeah, great work. Even in the
Yeah, right here. That's cool. Awesome. Okay, and then Gaurav. So they removed this pole right here. And I think that's it. Right?
Also the arrows or the signs on the streets.
Oh, or unless he cropped it.
Oh yeah,
He probably cropped it. They probably cropped it. This is cool. Yeah, I would say that this is like the main distraction, which you did a really great job of taking out. So that's awesome.
And also change the colors.
Change the colors. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sweet.
Nice,
Okay.
nice.
I think this might be from before. So I think we're good.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I may have removed a bit too much. This is from Paul Van Someren. That is amazing. That's kind of like what you do with your, the reading man. That's awesome. I'm like so curious how he got that though.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Maybe from this same image here.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he like, flipped it horizontal and like.
But it's really cool.
Yeah,
I like
it is. The invisible sweater. Cool. Well, I think that is pretty much it. So we can head on over back to your screen if you want to. If anybody has any questions or any
someone
comments.
just uploaded them.
Oh, I just uploaded mine. Let me see.
Okay, let's look at the last one.
I'll do a real quick refresh. So many submissions. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
oh,
thank you.
Cool.
So we have a few more.
Yeah. Okay, so I think, let's see. This is from Kat. I'm trying to see what they removed. Oh, wow. Okay, so they removed this whole window. And all of the stuff in the back, too. That's really cool.
Yeah, really, really cool.
Mm-hmm. Great job, Kat. And this was at the Manga Museum. Okay. And then this is Shahid. Oh, wow, look at it.
Oh, okay,
Drawing
cool.
inspiration from your stuff. That's really cool.
Yeah, here remove the...
They removed the people, and then they added the water. That's really cool.
Even with the brush here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like this a lot.
They're like getting inspiration from you. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's great to see this. This kind of.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of nice too when you have something like this road that's like very, defined, and makes it easier to kind of add this like water, like river. Sweet. And then we've got this one as well. I love the after. That's so cool. It's very minimal. Nice. I'm curious how many of these images are stock or if they're all photos. Like,
how did you all get your images?
Your images, yeah. Cool. All right, and Ken.
That's really.
That's cool. Thanks for showing us exactly what you took out. Nice. Definitely.
Yeah, so it's first is the glass, the watch,
and then something in the back that was like kind of distracting.
Is that a flower or
don't
is
know.
it on the dress?
I think it's like a flower. Cool. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for submitting.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Well, if you have any other last minute questions or anything that you want to ask Juan Jose, please tell us in the chat. We're going to be here tomorrow as well, so it's exciting.
Yeah, this was fun. I'll try to make tomorrow a little bit of planning to do this sort of images, and some more compositing. I also wonder what tools people wanna see or are interesting. I mean, there are so many tools.
I know.
I have
Photoshop's always changing too, and
question: which tools you like the most? Like, for example, even you're beginner or you've been working with Photoshop for a while, what's those tools you like to work with? Because, for example, for me, I love playing with layers and the brush, which is
Do you ever have any like PSD files where you have like layers on layers on layers?
Yeah, a lot. And when you start upgrading from one camera to another, the images different sizes, and it's just crazy amount of gigabytes on all my hard drives for sure.
Oh, Tim asked, do you use a Wacom table? I don't even know how to pronounce that. Is it Wacom?
Yeah.
Tablet for compositing?
No. I do it mostly with a mouse.
A mouse?
Yeah.
I know. I'm surprised that you're doing it on your trackpad today.
Now,
Noelle says pen tool all day.
Like, show some composition of your glitch videos. Like how you mix. Okay, that would be cool. Let me see if I can. I think this is more oriented for Photoshop. But,
yes.
Catherine
responded. She says she took her image with her phone from the Manga Museum.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was her own image. Cool.
Yeah. And then where's this? Yeah, I mean, some images that I make on for example, on my website, and this is something that I encourage people to do. This is all made by code as well. I mean, there is no editing actually. It's just real time on the web. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's the cool thing about using different tools. I feel that there's just no limits.
Yeah, of course. Tim asked, do you ever add text to your images?
No, not really. I haven't really explored that option. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I don't.
Sometimes text can be distracting. Sometimes.
I think I also think it's hard, to create a great outlook that you look. And for example, when you spend time on the image, and then you have to also start thinking about what font to use, the design, the layout.
Yeah,
it's a different.
The size.
It's a different.
And Tim asked, do you always shoot in RAW?
Yes, I mean I do with the option of both. So you have the JPEG and RAW. Yeah. But all the pictures, I mean everything I send to Lightroom is in RAW. Yeah, there's way more information. I recommend that, but it's also a lot of space consuming. Mm-hmm. So.
Are there times that when you're editing, do you get stumped on doing something and you have to stop and Google it, or is there a time where you don't know how to do something and you have to go research it, or?
Oh yeah, all the time. I feel like internet right now is a great place to just go on, and you can learn whatever you want to.
Yeah, definitely. I know I sometimes do that. I kind of forget how to do something, so I have to relearn it.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's so many tools, so many things to do, and can you create custom brushes? I haven't done that. I think you can. I think you can also. I explore the idea of making actions as well. You can also make your own actions. Mm-hmm. It's a whole process.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I'm sure you can create your own custom brushes for sure.
Yeah, mine says, do you ever edit brushes or download them? Definitely download them.
Yeah, definitely download it. There's a lot of them. But if you're interested in doing that, go for it.
Yeah, and it does have a little kind of tab or window where you can mess around with the brush a little bit, like the angle or hardness and softness. So you can do a little bit of that, but it's hard to make your own.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, just like any new thing, once you get used to it, you just go for it.
Yeah. How much time do you end up spending, when you're doing Lightroom first?
I mean, depends on...
Do you usually, edit a bunch of the photos all at once, or do you know which you go from the one you pick?
So, when I go and do some shootings, I feel like you already, you know which ones you're...
Yeah, the ones that stand out usually.
So I go directly to the ones that I really, really liked, and I edit them right away. Mm-hmm. And then in the next couple of days, I just, if I have a free time, I just go and try to select which ones, the second selection.
Yeah.
And then just try to edit in one, I just try to make a time every day to just edit them.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about Lightroom is that if you have, let's say, a shooting and everything is sort of the same presets or the same lighting, you could just do one edit and then you can just use the same, copy paste the same edit.
Yeah. That's the one great thing about Lightroom. I love that.
That saves a lot of time. For sure.
The batch editing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's best. Cool. Yeah, if you guys have any last minute questions or anything that you have on your mind that you want to say to Juan Jose, we've got about a minute left. So yeah, and make sure to check out his website. It's juanjose.xyz. You can also check out his Instagram. We are so excited to be coming back tomorrow as well. So we're going to be doing a lot more compositing. Yeah, thank you guys so much. We'll be back tomorrow.